Another great feature in Word 2010 is working with Word's built-in styles and also using those styles to build a table of contents. Working with styles is an important part of working effectively in Microsoft Word, especially if you're using larger documents. Working with styles gives you several advantages. The first advantage is it's easy to format your document. The second advantage is it's easy to modify the document parts that have styles built into it. And the third part is it allows you to real easily be able to build a table of contents for larger documents. This video will show you the following. It'll show you how you insert a style into your document, how you modify a style in your document, how you use those styles to create a table of contents. Enjoy the video. I have a Word document open that I'm going to be using for demonstrating how to work with styles in Microsoft Word and also eventually for building a table of contents in Microsoft Word. I have I'm on the second page in the document, and there's a section of this document that's actually should be a title part of the document where it says Microsoft Outlook. What I want to do is identify this as a major topic in the document by making this a built-in heading 1 style. So I'm going to take my mouse to the left of that line. I'll get the arrow that points up and to the right, which is the line selector. I'll click with my mouse. Now I'm on the Home tab of the ruler. I'm going to move across to the Styles group and click on Heading 1, and that'll automatically make that Arial, size 14, and bold. So it real quickly allows me to format things when I use the built-in styles in Microsoft Word. A little further down, there's another line that I want to make a major topic as well. It's called the screen. I'll select that line. Again, going back up to the ruler, clicking on Heading 1. I now have that as a Heading 1 style. So I get consistency in my document. It makes it really easy to format things in my document. I'm going to scroll down to the next page. This line here should be a major topic as well, so I'll select it again, and I'll click on Heading 1. And I would continue to go through the entire document, taking all of my major topics and making them a Heading 1 style. Then lower down the document as I'm working through, I would also select all my secondary or my subtopics and make them a Heading 2 in the document. So this line here, Show or Hide the Outlook Bar, is a subtopic of Outlook Bar. So I'll select that line, then go back up to the ribbon again and click on the Heading 2 section, which makes this Arial, bold, italic, and size 12. And lower down, I'll choose another line that says Move a Shortcut on the Outlook Bar. And again, this is a subtopic of Outlook Bar. Click on Heading 2 again, and that'll make that a Heading 2 topic in the document. So far we can see that when you use styles in Microsoft Word, it makes it really easy to format your document. Secondly, it gives you consistency across your document. Now imagine now if you have all your styles put onto your document, and then you go back and you take a look and you think, okay, I'd like to have all my heading 1s become center aligned, for example, or maybe a different size font, for example. Well, imagine if I have 150 heading 1s in this document. Rather than go back and select each of them individually and change the size of the font and center align and so on, all I can quickly do now that I'm working with styles is to modify the heading 1 style in this document. So to modify a heading 1 style in the document, I'm going to click on one of the examples of a heading 1. In this case, this is heading 1. I can tell by looking up in the ribbon. I'm going to move my mouse to the right of the styles area. There's a little arrow, which is a dialog box launcher. When I click on that little arrow, it'll open up a styles panel for me. It's going to move around just a little bit. It puts a border around the style that I'm active on. That's why there's a border around heading 1. I'll click on the arrow next to heading 1. In the drop-down list, I want to modify the heading 1 style, so I'll click on Modify, and it takes me into the Modify Style window. Now in this window, it shows me the part of the document that I'm active in, so I get some sense as to what I'm doing. What I'm going to do here is I'm going to use the Center button. I'll click on that, and now all of my heading 1s in the entire document, in my case 3 heading 1s, but it could be 150 heading 1s, are now all center aligned. I could also, if I wanted to, change the font to a different font. I could change the size to a different size. I could underline it if I chose to do so. I could change the color of the font to a different color. I could go even further if I chose to by going to the Format button and maybe make some changes as far as the spacing between paragraphs, for example. In this video, I'm not going to go to that step. I'll click OK. I'll close off this window so you can see what happened in the document, and you can now see all the heading 1s in this document have now been center aligned. Just to go through the process again of modifying a style in the document. I'm going to click somewhere on one of my heading 2s. I want to take all the heading 2s in this document, in my case the 2 of them, but it might be 300 of them in a larger document, and I want to underline all the heading 2s in the document. So again, I go back up to the ribbon, I move to the right of the styles group. I go to the dialog box launcher and click. In this window, I put my mouse on the arrow to the right of heading 2. On the drop-down list, I click on Modify. In this window, all I'm going to do is just underline them. I can see in the preview area what's happening. I'll click OK. I'll close off this panel. And now you can see the heading 2s in this document, 2 of them or 300 of them, depending how many I had, have all now been modified. So far we've seen how you can use styles to easily format your document, get consistency across your document, and easily modify your document. I'm now back in the same document that I was working on where I applied styles and modified styles in the document. I'm now going to scroll back up to the top of the document, and I'll click below a little heading that I've already created called Outlook Table of Contents. What I want to now demonstrate to you is how you can use the styles that you've applied to your document to really quickly build the table of contents. This is a great tool for anybody who's doing large document work, like a set of procedures, for example, or in my case, a set of user notes, for example. So first of all, I make sure I'm positioned in the part of my document where I want to put the table of contents, which is usually higher up in the document, maybe on page 1 or page 2. I'm going to take my mouse up to the References tab above the ribbon and click a table of contents as a reference for my readers to refer to see what's in the document and also to see what the page numbers are of those contents. I'll then take my mouse towards the left-hand side of the ribbon and click on Table of Contents. I'll get a drop-down list of choices. Now I choose not to use this drop-down list of choices because, as you can see, it automatically wants to pick up all the heading 1s, all the heading 2s, all the heading 3s in the document. What I want to do in the first pass through of this is just to pick up the heading 1s in the document. So rather than choose one of those preset choices, I'll move to the bottom of the list and go to where it says Insert Table of Contents. It takes me into a window. And in this window, it shows me a preview in the upper left-hand corner that by default, it wants to pick up heading 1s, heading 2s, heading 3s. Again, the reason I choose to only use heading 1s for the most part of my table of contents is I try to keep my table of contents to one page in my document. If I choose heading 1s and heading 2s, it might cause it to roll over onto a second or third page. So most times I just use heading 1. I want to now change this to only work with heading 1s. So I go to the bottom of the window where it says Show Levels and it says 3. I'm going to make this 2, then down to 1. In other words, just pick up the heading 1s in the document. And I'll click OK. And I now have my table of contents created and it picks up all the heading 1s that were in my document. That's one example. I want to run through the process again. So it's going to undo it by going to the Undo button. We go back again. I'm already on the References tab. I'm going to click on the Table of Contents button. I'll move down now to where it says Insert Table of Contents. I'm going to change the show levels from a 1 to a 2. In other words, heading 1s and heading 2s. I'll click OK. I now picked up all my heading 1s and all my heading 2s. Now, if something were to change in my document, the table of contents will not automatically change. I have to do an update of the table of contents. And here's an example of a change. So scroll back down here, and I'll click after the line that says the screen, and I'll just do some other typing and other topics. I want to put a page break in, so I'm going to click before the start of that line, and on my keyboard I'm going to hold the Control button down and touch the Enter button to put a page break in. This is now on page 3 in the document. But if I scroll back up to the top of my document where the table of contents is, it continues to say the screen, and it continues to say that it's on page 2. So that's incorrect. So the last thing I usually do in a document that's a table of contents is I'll just update the table of contents at the end of the whole process. So to do that, I'm on the References tab. I'll now move across to the ribbon and look for the button that says Update Table. I'll click on that. It takes me into a window. I don't choose the first choice very often because all this does is just takes the existing table of contents and update the page numbers for me. What I want it to do is look for any new content and any changes and also update the page numbers. So I want to update the entire table. I'll click OK. And now I can see I have it updated with the revision to the topic and also with the correct page numbers in the table of contents. Again, Styles is a really great tool for being effective in Microsoft Word. And you can see from this video, you can make it easy to format things, consistency in your document, easy to modify your styles in your document, and for large documents, really easy to create a table of contents. So I hope that you find that information valuable for you, especially for those users of Microsoft Word that are using large documents. Working with styles is a really critically important part of becoming effective in using Microsoft Word. And you saw in the video how you can use the styles to give you consistency throughout your document, easy to format your document, easy to modify the styles in your document, and then maybe even more importantly, how you build the table of contents in your document.
My name again is Joe Peterson. Thank you for watching the video. I hope that you'll visit our site. Our website is www.joecomputertips.com. On that site, we have lots of videos that help you to become more effective as you use all the different Microsoft applications. Thanks again.